There are so many electronic devices that make our lives easier, save us time, and make the world feel smaller. Some wash our clothes. Others let us talk to people thousands of miles away. But have you ever stopped to think? It wasn't easy to get here. The technology we take for granted today exists because of the patience, persistence, and brilliance of certain people. And one of them was a man who held hundreds of patents, but died broken alone, Nikola Tesla. Tesla was a man who could have been one of the richest people in the world if he had cared about money. But his only goal was not wealth, it was to help humanity. He spent every penny he earned on new inventions, paid off his friends' debts, and even gave up his patent rights. He never married, never had children, and devoted his entire life to science. In the end, he died alone in a small hotel room. Nikola Tesla was born on July 10, 1856, in the village of Smiljan, in what is now Croatia. He was of Serbian descent. His father, Milutin Tesla, was a well-educated priest. His mother, on the other hand, was a natural-born inventor. She designed tools for her household and had remarkable practical intelligence. In a way, Nikola inherited his creativity from her. But his childhood was marked by tragedy. One day, his older brother died in a horse-riding accident. The family saw his brother as a prodigy. Every time young Nikola achieved something, his parents' eyes filled with the sadness of that loss. This left him with deep insecurity. Perhaps that's why he spent the rest of his life trying to prove himself to others and to himself. From an early age, Tesla was different. He couldn't stand certain jewelry, especially pearls. He couldn't touch other people's hair. He counted his steps when walking and calculated the volume of every plate or cup before eating. Everything he did had to be divided by 3. 3 was the number of perfection for him. Today, we might call it obsessive, but behind those quirks was a mind like no other. Tesla could build entire machines inside his head. He could design, test, and even fix them mentally before ever touching a tool. When he finally built them, they worked flawlessly. In his own words, "It makes no difference whether I run my turbine in my mind or in my workshop. Without touching anything, I can design the perfect machine." In school, Tesla was just as obsessive. He woke up at 3 in the morning and studied until 11 at night. His professors wrote to his father saying, "If you don't stop your son, his work will kill him." But Tesla didn't stop. Once, he decided to read all of Voltaire's works. He drank 72 cups of coffee and finished 100 volumes. When he was done, he said only one thing: never again. By the 1880s, Tesla was a young engineer. One day, while reading Goethe's Faust, he suddenly had an idea that would change human history: the rotating magnetic field. This concept became the foundation for the alternating current motor, the technology that powers our modern world. Excited, he grabbed a stick and drew the design in the sand. His friend was stunned. At that very moment, Tesla had envisioned the electricity of the future. But to make it real, he needed to go to America. In 1884, Tesla arrived in New York with just a few coins in his pocket. His dreams were huge, but the world he found was harsh, loud, dirty, and obsessed with money. And ruling that world was one man, Thomas Edison. Edison had built an empire using direct current to light up cities. But Tesla believed the future belongs to alternating current. Edison laughed at him, calling it nonsense, but still hired him. Tesla redesigned Edison's machines, made them more efficient, and added automatic controls. He worked day and night, barely sleeping. Edison praised him, saying, "I've never seen anyone work like you." But when Tesla asked for the promised $50,000 for his work, Edison just smiled and said, "Mr. Tesla, you don't understand American humor." For Tesla, that was the breaking point. He realized how cruel business could be. He quit his job and walked away. For a while, he couldn't find work. He even dug ditches on the streets of New York to survive. Imagine a man with world-changing ideas shoveling dirt just to eat. But he didn't give up. Eventually, a few investors noticed him, and he founded the Tesla Electric Light Company. There, he developed safer and more efficient lighting systems. But once again, his partners didn't share his vision. And once again, his dream slipped away. Then, fate turned in his favor. Industrialist George Westingham discovered Tesla's patents and bought them. The stage was set for the legendary war of currents, Edison's direct current versus Tesla's alternating current. Edison launched a smear campaign against Tesla. He electrocuted animals in public and even used AC current to execute a prisoner just to convince people it was dangerous. But the truth couldn't be hidden. Scientists realized electricity is only dangerous when mishandled. The type of current wasn't the problem. Then came the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. Westingham won the contract. When the president pressed the button, hundreds of thousands of lights came on at once. For the first time, the world saw the power of alternating current. Tesla had won. But success came with another sacrifice. Westingham faced financial trouble, and investors demanded he cancel Tesla's royalties. Reluctantly, Westingham explained the situation. Tesla's response was simple. You believed in me, I will give up my royalties. That signature cost him millions, but it gave humanity the modern electric age. It was one of the greatest acts of selflessness in science. Just as things were improving, disaster struck again. In 1895, Tesla's lab burned down. Everything, his notes, equipment, inventions, was gone. Newspapers called it the death of a genius's life's work. But Tesla didn't despair. He rebuilt his lab because all his inventions were still alive, inside his mind. His next dream was even greater: wireless electricity. He wanted to transmit energy through the air to power the whole world without cables. He convinced banker J.P. Morgan to fund his project and began building the Wardenclyffe Tower. But when Morgan realized Tesla's real goal was free electricity for everyone, he withdrew his support. Free power meant no profit. Construction stopped. The tower was eventually sold to pay debts, and with it, Tesla's greatest dream collapsed. In his later years, Tesla withdrew from the world. He spent his days feeding pigeons in the park, caring for them like friends. He even said once, "I loved that pigeon as a man loves a woman." He never married. Every fortune he made was poured back into his work. On January 7th, 1943, Nikola Tesla died of heart failure in his small room at the New Yorker hotel. Alone, but not forgotten. Today, every electric device we use carries a piece of his legacy. Alternating current, induction motors, the Tesla coil, fluorescent lighting, remote controls, radio, radar, and so much more. If we remove Tesla's inventions from our world, civilization would fall back 100 years. He died alone, but his ideas live forever. And maybe that's why his light never went out.